Aaron and I recently went on the Norwegian Cruise Line's Gem on an 11-day Panama Canal Cruise. This was a wonderful cruise with a transit through the Panama Canal, with the Gem going halfway across to the Gatun Lake. And then we took a ferry excursion taking us all the way to the Pacific near Panama City, Panama. We had 6 ports of call on the trip in the 11 days, including Grand Cayman, Cayman Islands, Cartagena, Colombia, Panama, of course, Puerto Limon, Costa Rica, Harvest Caye, Belize, and finally Cozumel, Mexico. This is Daryl
and Aaron
on Travel with D&E. Join us as we showcase the incredible NCL Gem's 11-day Panama Canal Cruise with its facilities,
thank you,
food and beverage, great staff and service, shopping, exceptional entertainment. Let's go check out what this cruise is all about and why you should consider this same cruise or a different itinerary on the NCL Gem.
Day 1 finds us getting up early and flying into the Fort Lauderdale airport. We took a bus over to the Miami Cruise Boat Terminal where embarkation process and boarding the ship. Overall, the embarkation process wasn't too bad. A little slow, but just got to be a little patient. When we got on the boat, we ate a snack at the Garden Cafe and made a quick look around.
As the boat was departing the terminal, we went up to deck 13, which was the highest deck forward, to see our departure from Miami into the Gulf of Mexico. It was funny as the NCL Pearl and Gem both honked at each other. We also made a quick review and video of our 4th deck aft inside cabin. That first night at sea, we visited the atrium where we played in a trivia game and actually won an NCL keychain.
Trivia in the atrium on our first night.
I'm going to give you 3 more if you find the other players, okay? Yeah.
Thank you, this was fun!
Thank you, appreciate it.
We won!
Norwegian keychain.
We ate dinner at the Orchid Garden, which is an Asian fusion complimentary restaurant.
seafood with udon noodles, raw, good.
And I got the lemon and peppered chicken.
We finished the night off at the Spinnaker Lounge, where the Majority Rules game was underway. Day 2 is an at-sea day. We're headed from the Miami Cruise Terminal to our first port of call, which is Grand Cayman, Cayman Islands. We started our morning off at the great outdoors for breakfast.
Good morning. It's the second day of our cruise. We're up and at breakfast. Went to the Garden Cafe and then we've come outside.
I found a rubber duck, which is a fun activity on many cruise lines.
At 10:30, we went to a meet and greet with the cruise leadership. This was sponsored by a Facebook group that Aaron found on the Facebook Panama Canal page. The group is sponsoring a gift exchange, slot pool, and poker run. We highly recommend you try to find a Facebook group for your specific cruise.
Next up, we ate lunch at O'Sheehan's. It's a complimentary restaurant, kind of an Irish pub type of place. Food was good.
Girl got the same thing with the plantains and rice and beans.
While we were eating, in the atrium, which is kind of connected downstairs, they're playing Deal or No Deal. Looks like fun.
Deal or no deal?
Later in the afternoon, we went to the Spinnaker Lounge to play some bingo. We got lucky and won the second game, which was 4 corners. Unfortunately, 2 others won at the same time, so we had to split the winnings, but ended up with $146. So not bad. It more than paid for the cards to play.
That night, we went to the atrium again, drank a beverage or 2, and listened to the NCL Gem swinging and grooving show band. So after relaxing in the atrium, we had reservations at the complimentary Grand Pacific dining room, and it was excellent.
All right, we're at dinner at the Grand Pacific dining room. I've got our appetizer. I have the beef and barley and vegetable soup. Nice thick, rich broth. And Gerald got the French onion.
Good old traditional onion soup.
How is it?
Hard to beat.
What?
All right, so we got a Parmesan crusted pork chop. Let's get ready to eat that. And Aaron has.
Yeah, I've got the New York strip steak with some French fries and a grilled tomato.
We finished day 2 off with a comedic magic show with Brent and Sarah in the Stardust Theater.
On day 3, we arrived at our first port of call, Georgetown, Grand Cayman, Cayman Islands. The ship ties up to a mooring line offshore, meaning we'll have to take a tender boat to the dock.
Alright, we're on the tender and we're about to get off at Grand Cayman. It was a pretty smooth ride, so excited to get things started.
We found our tour guide, headed over to the parking lot, and loaded on the bus for our excursion. The name of our excursion was Highlights, Hell, and 7 Fathoms Distillery.
Next up, we went to Hell. Hell's a very unique and strange, craggy, black limestone structure that someone in the past called it Hell, and it just stuck. Again, very unique. You can mail postcards from Hell, assuming the post office is open, which it was not on a Sunday.
Alright guys, guess what? We're in hell.
We went to Hell, Grand Cayman Islands. All right, we're in Hell.
Our second stop on the excursion, we went to the Tortuga Rum Cake Factory. They had an informative and tasty tour. They showed us where they actually baked the rum cakes, but unfortunately, it was Sunday, so they weren't actually cooking. We got to taste some rum cakes. Yummy. And some flavored
Flavors, do you want?
Give me the mango.
Sorry.
And finally, we picked up some beef and chicken pâtés they were selling inside. We are firm believers that if you want to better understand a culture, one of the best ways to do that is to eat the local foods.
Our last destination on the excursion was the Cayman Spirits Distillery and 7 Fathoms Distillery, as it's called as well, because they actually aged some of their barrels of rum at 7 fathoms deep in the waters off of the island. Athena, the guide at the distillery, explained a little bit about the rum and what they make there. Then they allowed us to taste some of the different flavored rums, and it was all very good.
Governors, hi camera. If you have trouble with your partner, just give them a little drop. They'll be.
Everyone?
Yes.
Yes, please. All right.
Oh, look, all the men, yes.
Yeah, give the women a double.
Also, do not touch anything at all, especially if it looks like copper. It's extremely hot. Smoking hot, like your tour guide, of course.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my gosh, you guys are making me blush.
Athena was a lot of fun and entertaining as well. She also brought us into the back where they actually manufactured the rum.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun as well.
That heats up the fermented wash, vaporize, condense at the top, coming all the way down.
We returned back to the port and went to see some historic buildings and statues in the nearby area. You have Fort George here, including what's left of the wall. Now we're in Hero Square in Georgetown. Also, the Clock Tower, 1919 Peace Memorial, and the House of Parliament building.
All right, where are we at?
Georgetown, Grand Cayman.
Got the nice mural painted behind us. Having a blast on Grand Cayman Island.
Then it was time to head to the port to take the tender back to the ship.
We headed over to the Garden Cafe around 2 o'clock, and you'll see it's kind of a theme for us. The Garden Cafe was a big, huge, delicious buffet with several options for American, Indian, Asian, Italian, Mexican at every meal, so it was pretty neat. And it was delicious and fast.
We left the island about 4:45 and looked at that beautiful blue water. Next up was a really good band called Upgrade that we listened to the entire cruise. They were poolside with the Sail Away jams.
We hit the atrium again to relax, enjoy a beverage. Then went to the Stardust Lounge and was entertained by a comedian named Scott Goff.
Is it A?
We went to the
The
Spinnaker
4th of
Lounge for the
July.
newlywed, not so
Lots
newlywed
of
game.
fireworks.
We then had a late
B,
dinner at the Garden
Halloween.
Cafe and finished the night
Trick
off
or
in the
treat.
Spinnaker Lounge with
C,
Dance All Night by the
Memorial Day.
Famosa Gazar
Honoring the
Band.
dead.
Great day.
Day 4, we find ourselves with another at-sea day, heading from Grand Cayman to our next port of call, Cartagena, Colombia. We had a late breakfast at the Garden Cafe, then headed to the atrium to play the James Bond trivia.
So we had the slot pool with a group from the Facebook cruise page. Met some new people at the casino and got to play the slots, but didn't really make any real money. We made back $8 of our initial investment of $15, but we had lots of fun nevertheless.
We enjoyed another late lunch at the Garden Cafe, then played bingo again as they are only played on at-sea days. The boat was rocking a bit, as you can see from the pools as the water sloshing about. Throughout the cruise, we never felt much movement on the ship, even though the ship was rocking like it was.
We made another trip to the Spinnaker Lounge to listen to Upgrade with the Get on the Floor theme. We stayed and enjoyed the Battle of the Sexes game show. These game shows are really a lot of fun, seen up close and live. A lot more fun than you would think. Our bartender also did Aaron right with his design of Aaron's mudslide. It's a party time.
I need somebody help.
So the first eliminated, you're gonna step back to back.
We finished this more laid-back at-sea day at the Stardust Theater watching the Blazing Boots professional production show. It was fantastic and a great way to finish off the day.
Day 5, we arrived in Cartagena, Colombia, and that was after our at-sea day from Cayman Islands. We met at the Stardust Theater at 7:15 to be called to exit the ship by our excursion group. Our excursion for the day was the Old City and Spanish Fortress.
We exited the ship on a gangway directly onto the dock, and after finding our bus, we took our seats. Then we were introduced to our VIP tour guide, Elkins. Our first stop on the excursion is the San Felipe de Barajas Fort, the biggest fort the Spanish built.
See why the fort was built on top of the hill? Take a look in front where I'm pointing at.
All right, we're at the old fort.
Is anybody here from
This-
The old and the...
Okay, VIP group.
We walked around, took pictures, listened to Elkins, our tour guide, and got to listen to the trumpet guy play in his era uniform.
Nice.
And the fort was massive, and from where it was located, you could tell it had a really good lookout over the old Columbia town.
Next, we toured the old walled city of Cartagena. We went by various buildings and areas including the Las Bovitas Artisan Center, Barrio del Centro, basically the area inside the walled city, the Colombian Naval Museum, Plaza de San Pedro Claver,
Over here, we have the statue.
Cathedral of Cartagena, completed in the early 1600s, Picasso of Cartagena,
Karate Kid. Caribbean Sea.
the Inquisition Palace, home of Torquemada.
Once we got back to the dock, it was pretty cool. There was a bird sanctuary, but they did have an anteater.
Colombia.
And then they had some macaws that were actually able to climb on our arms and reach at them.
Daryl?
And then we headed back to the ship. All right, so we're boarding the gym here. Now, as we're pulling out from dock, it is kind of cool. We're not going to show it on every time we go to a port of call, but you can see just how big these boats are and how maneuverable they are as it leaves the harbor in Cartegena.
Back on the boat, we were starving and decided to have dinner at the Orchid Garden. It's a complimentary Asian fusion restaurant which we enjoyed multiple times on the cruise. We love live music, so we decided to go to the open area by Magnum's Bar, where we listened to Tanya. She plays acoustic guitar and sings, and she was excellent.
We then finished the night off by drinking a few beverages in the Spinnaker Lounge, another theme of ours throughout the cruise. It was a lot of fun in that place. We were entertained by watching the quiz game show, kind of like Jeopardy. Next up, we had the Latin Vibes with Vamos de Gazar. They were really a fun band. They then held an entertaining, if not embarrassing, Michael Jackson's Thriller dance class. Their final bit of fun was the awesome 80s party with DJ Tina. It was rock.
We left Cartagena, Colombia last night, and on day 6, we're now transiting the Panama Canal starting on the Caribbean side near Colon, Panama. The NCL Gem will transit through the Gatun Locks into Gatun Lake. This brings us up 85 feet through the eastern locks of the old Panama Canal. We headed to the bow of the ship before 5 a.m. to make sure we had a good location to see. This area is normally crew only, but they allowed us to access for the transit through the Panama Canal. So we initially entered the Panama Canal under the Atlantic Bridge. It was a beautiful sunrise as the day broke. Listen to the sounds from the jungle. Ooh, scary.
And here we are entering the Gatun Locks with 3 chambers, where we climb up 85 feet in total to Gatun Lake. You can see a large ship in front of us, which gives us a great perspective. You can see she is at a much higher water level than we are. The mules connect up to the ship with metal cables in the bow and aft, and their job is to keep us centered and off the wall. So all ships use their own propulsion to transit canal. You could easily assume the mules pulled them, but they don't. It was fun watching the water level come higher and higher, although it took a long time. It was not a fast process, it was very slow. They would then open the gate to the chamber next, to the next chamber, and we would move forward. Then the whole thing would repeat again. And it was pretty cool to see other ships going on the other side in the opposite direction.
It's the other perspective that's kind of difficult to comprehend
yes.
without seeing it in
Hard at
person.
work.
It's just how little room the NCL Gem had to either side. This was pretty incredible.
On the other side of deck 7.
We have gone through all 3 chambers of the Gatun Locks, and now we are coming out into the Gatun Lake.
It is a tender. It's theirs. The NCL Gem put the anchor down and dropped us off at the Gatun Yacht Club using the ship's lifeboat. We boarded our bus to take us to Gamboa, Panama. On the way, we had a narrated bus ride where we did cross over the new Panama Canal, which handles longer and wider ships. Now it's time to go ahead and board the ferry. We managed to be the absolute last 2 passengers.
This excursion takes you from the Port of Gamboa through the Gilliard Cut, across the Continental Divide, under the Centennial Bridge, then enters the Pedro Miguel Locks, which lowers your vessel 31 feet on the way to the Pacific. Then it enters the Miraflores Locks, bringing you another 54 feet down. As we got closer to Panama City, we came upon a huge container port. We went under the Bridge of the Americas and out into the Pacific, approaching Panama City.
It was very interesting, as you see on this ferry excursion, that we end up having a catamaran and a single hull sailboat approach us and actually tie up to us, so we were kind of all traveling as one. Then we had a huge car carrier pull up behind us and entered into the same chamber that we were in. We're all going to transit together. So in this one chamber in Pedro Miguel Locks, we're dropping 31 feet. You can watch the water just go by. I have it on fast motion, so it doesn't take a long time, but you can just watch the water drop.
Now we're coming up on the Miraflores Locks. Look closely, there are people up in the grandstands watching us transit the Panama Canal. As we pop out into the Pacific, you can now see the skyline of Panama City. It was beautiful. We docked at the Port of Balboa, Panama, where we were bussed back to Colon. The NCL Gem had turned around and went to go back through the Gatun Locks to Colon, Panama. It was a long day, but a great experience. We're now an elite club to have transited the entire Panama Canal from the Caribbean to the Pacific Ocean.
It's day 7 of our trip. We're making our 4th port of call into Puerto Limon, Costa Rica. We docked at their cruise terminal and exited the Gem directly onto the dock.
All right, we're in Costa Rica.
Aaron and I took a few selfies near the dock and listened to a little calypso band that was there welcoming us, and then boarded our excursion bus parked nearby. Christopher was our excellent tour guide for the cultural journey and soul food delight excursion. He taught us the typical greeting, pure vida, meaning pure life.
Man, when you see cerveza, you're like,
Good.
I recommend you the Imperial. But as a local rum, if you want to taste something local, you ask for the Coco Loco. Coco Loco is sugarcane rum and coconut water.
Okay.
This on your mind. Imagine Caribbean food and Asian food together.
The best.
Man, that was good.
Right? Banana
We
man.
started off at the Artisan's Art Studio, where there were many beautiful paintings and other artwork on display, especially around the long history of bananas in Costa Rica. The town has a really Caribbean vibe. As you can see, it's such a colorful town. An interesting fact about Costa Rica is they have no army, just national police, and the money that is saved is spent primarily on education.
Now we're heading towards the Park of Vargas.
Get to see the officers. They belong to the city hall. Come over here, let me tell you
Hola.
a very nice thing about Costa Rica.
So this is Parque Vargas. It's a beautiful park full of shade
over here.
trees, statues, plaques, and signage with historical meaning. We saw a few sloths up in the trees, which was very cool. That's a monkey with coconut, or cocoa. We got back on the bus and headed outside of town to the Playa Bonita, which also had Rihanna's Restaurante Bar. Along the way, Christopher gave us a narrated tour showing all the various coconut, banana, and mango trees growing alongside the
I
road.
love the soursop ice cream. Oh, it's delicious.
Yes.
We also tasted a fermented cacao pod seed. It really was delicious as long as you don't bite down into the bitter seed.
Their cocoa bean has been fermented.
Today is the day when stars
For 7
come about.
days.
Can I picture down there?
Right now we're good. All right. Okay, we at Playa Bonita. As you can tell, we're at a beach in the background. Gonna have some cerveza, or at least beverages, and go to the chocolate tasting and the cooking.
Yep.
Fun, Costa Rica.
Next, we got on the bus and headed to the House of Culture back in town. They had these Mardi Gras looking caricatures in the front room. We learned about their culture, listened to music, and watched a dance performance. In fact, while we were watching, I was picked to go on stage to dance. We had a great time.
The last part of our excursions was at the G&E Chocolate Adventure Company. So first they gave us some roasted cocoa bean samples.
I'm good.
And boy, they were great.
Ginger?
Then they gave us a cooking demonstration where they showed us how to make, and then were given samples to taste, including beef patis, plantain tart, and rice and beans. Pati.
With the local tea guy, tea.
Pati.
You can go around, you can put on the list, okay? Are you hungry?
Yes.
Are you hungry? Enough space?
After enjoying the excursion, we decided to go back for a few minutes over
All
to
right,
the
Puerto
Parque
Limon.
Vargas and get a better look
Costa
around.
Rica just finished our excursion, getting ready to head back to the boat.
Before heading back to the boat, we stopped by the beach.
All right, so we're at the beach here at Puerto Limon. Here.
We walked across the street and walked through a little market. Daryl picked up a hat, and I got a little wooden decorative box that had a sloth on it.
All right, coming back to the gym. Once we got back on board, we went ahead and went to our dinner reservation at Moderno's. So that's a Brazilian steak or Brazilian meat house, and it is a specialty restaurant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you what, it was special. We really thoroughly enjoyed.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Next up, and not a big surprise, we finish off our day at the Spinnaker Lounge, listen to Upgrade, playing 3 different sets of music. At 9, they had Get Groovin', at 10, they had Motown, and Party Through the Night never left. Had a great time, excellent as usual, and it's amazing they can pull off such a variety of time.
It's day 8 and another at-sea day as we cruise from Port of Limon, Costa Rica to Harvest Caye, Belize. We slept in and got caught up on some of our rests and had a late breakfast at the Garden Cafe. After lunch, we headed over to the Spinnaker Lounge, where we met with the Facebook group for the poker run event. The way it worked, there were 5 bars selected. 4 groups go to each bar.
Woohoo! All right, we're drinking woohoo.
Each bar had a pre-made drink, and you pulled a single card from a deck of cards.
Okay, we made it. Red bubbles.
Red bubbles. All right, we're ready for bubbles. Smoked peach?
Yeah.
And what is it? What's in it?
Margarita with
Tequila and peach puree?
After visiting 5 bars, pulling 5 cards while drinking 5 drinks, you meet back at the Spinnaker Lounge to see how your poker cards did. Daryl had 2 pairs, but we didn't win anything. Nevertheless, it was fun, and Daryl and I got to meet some new people.
All right, Daryl, what did you think about the poker run?
That was a lot of fun. Got to taste some drinks I've never tasted before.
All right, guys, so I know we've talked about our YouTube channel, and I found Dave here.
Yep.
We had the slot pool, we did the poker run, and the meet and greet, and Daryl and I can't thank Dave enough for the enjoyable time.
So what cruising's all about. Have fun and enjoy yourselves while you're at sea.
Yep, our first cruise in 20 plus years.
Wow.
So we appreciate, we got to meet some wonderful people and learn how cruising is what it's all about these days. So when we had downtime, we had fun time.
You got to enjoy yourself, whether you're cruising, whether you're in port, and you got to keep it all exciting and have fun. It's not just about sitting and relaxing all the time. You got to have some fun too.
Absolutely. Thank you.
No problem. Nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you.
We played another round of bingo, which
We have already called 3 numbers, so that's possible. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I just want to know, what letter are you looking for?
I.
071, 071. Who has a corner right now?
Well, we didn't win, but we sure had fun trying.
Look how pretty. What? Do you say that it's impossible?
A good bingo! Congratulations!
All right.
I was 3 away. Perfect.
Next up, we had dinner reservations at the Grand Pacific, a complimentary dining room.
All right, so we're in the Grand Pacific.
Yep. At the
Second time.
looking outside, we're traveling.
All right, so here's my swordfish.
Carpaccio.
Carpaccio, very fresh, very good, and they're all.
It's good old French onion soup.
What is that?
Gnocchi with Italian sausage.
Gnocchi. All right, so I got my steak, of course. Comes with French fries and gravy.
At 9 o'clock, we showed up at the Spinnaker's Lounge and saw Upgrade play the Start the Party set.
All right, y'all, 15 minutes away from the Glow Party.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your Gem production cast dancers!
At 10 o'clock in the Spinnaker, the Glow Party is getting ready to start up with DJ Tina. This is a super popular event on all NCL ships. You wear some white, they have fluorescent lights, and they provide glow sticks. And it was a blast and a load of fun.
I want to know, do you think tonight is going to be a good night? Norwegian Gem, I cannot hear you at all. Is tonight going to be a good night?
having that?
Let's get off. Mazel tov.
Blow party, yeah.
Norwegian Gem.
It's day 9 and we're visiting Harvest Caye, Belize on our 11-day Panama Canal Cruise. Harvest Caye is a private island owned by Norwegian Cruise Lines. It's set up to be a beach paradise, but beach time is not something Daryl and I enjoy too often. So we walked off the ship directly onto the dock and headed over to the marina where we will catch the ferry boat, the Lady Allison, which will take us over to the mainland for our excursion named Mayan Culture and Medicine Trail.
The ferry took us from the marina over to near Palencia, Belize at the Malacate Beach dock, and then found our excursion bus and loaded up. Wani, our tour guide, gave us a narrative tour for about 45 minutes to get to the Mayan village where our excursion was taking place. She talked about Mayan culture, as she's a descendant of the Mayans, and the history of Belize, or what was previously called British Honduras.
We arrived at the Mayan village, which is adjacent to the Cozumel Jaguar Reserve. We were greeted by Mayan shaman Aurora Garcia Saki and her husband.
My wife, who is a Yucatecan Maya.
They talked a lot
So we're
about
not
Mayan culture.
From the same group. She's from the Yucatecan Maya. I'm from Mopan.
Then they actually did a Mayan dance for us. They discussed various rainforest plants that they use for healing. We took a walk through their rainforest jungle path, and he showed us a number of the plants that they use and kind of described how they're used from a healing standpoint.
We can't afford it. We don't have any source of income. So, thankfully, we have the forest. We have traditional knowledge. And here's what we do. We go to this tree. We bring a good amount of leaves. We boil it for 25 minutes, thick, strong. We cool it, and next morning we're going to start to drink this medication. See? Anybody, just take it and crush it. However you can crush. I'll crush one. What I'm telling you is, if I'm going to go and hunt for food in the forest, there are mosquitoes. I take this and I crush this like this. Alright? You know what I've just done? If you smell this, we call it stinking plant or high scenting plant. So that's my story, that's what we do, that's what Maya way of taking care of our wellness. That's what we do. Okay? So I'm just sharing this with you all because this is what we do. This is our tradition, this is our culture, this is the way we do it, right?
We went back to the pavilion and had a cup of herbal tea they made and watched the Mayan shaman make some bug repellent, and we got to bottle some up ourselves. Then we visited the gift shop, tried a Belican beer, the beer of Belize. So we boarded the bus and started heading back. And to our surprise, Wani asked the bus driver to pull over at a vegetable stand. She got out and got us fresh bananas for all of us from Belize. So we got off the ferry boat at the marina, then went ahead and walked back down the dock towards the Norwegian Gem and loaded up.
When we got back to the gym, we went to the Spinnaker Lounge where they had the game show Compete Opposites. It was quite entertaining. Then we headed to the Stardust Theater to watch the Get Down Tonight show for the 7 o'clock start.
We're now on day 10 of our 11-day Panama Canal Cruise. Our fun today is going to be centered around Cozumel, Mexico. The NCL Gem pulled right up to the dock where we exited the ship right next to the NCL Pearl. All right, so that's the NCL Gem and the Pearl all together.
Got the sister ships together.
And we're in Cozumel, walking off the dock. So we kind of checked out the port area there, some of the shops, and then we met our tour guide Martin for our excursion, Island Discovery and Chocolate Experience. So basically we followed Martin over and we loaded up the bus Then we headed towards the Mayan bee sanctuary.
Martin, our guide, talked a little bit about the Mayan culture. Then we actually went and had a Mayan shaman who used incense and provided us an ancient Mayan blessing.
Por favor, please, poquito inglés, okay? Please don't be afraid. There will be no sacrifices, okay?
Are you sure?
Maybe tomorrow. Empecemos. Malo kim sukum bishabelesh hashkimak inwo in chaotic tech.
Next up, Martin gave us a real good explanation of the Mayan calendar. 19 months, 18 months and 20 days, and 1 month and 5 days.
Why 20 days? Because the Mayans, they got a bihesimal system in base of 10 fingers, 10 toes.
Martin then talked a little bit about the cenote that was right there on their property.
Eternity or reincarnation. Probably you haven't heard this, but the Egyptians, they used to mummify people in base of honey. Do you know that? No, you Google this information. Cross my heart.
Then we took a look at the bees. They are Melipona bees that are in hollow logs. They were so tiny, and they are actually stingless, which is interesting as well. They brought us into an enclosure and gave us samples of honey from a regular honeybee and then the Melipona bees. The Melipona honey was more intense and concentrated than the regular honey.
Color, strong flavor, spoon flat.
They were both delicious.
Oh, wow.
Very liquid.
Sure is.
Yeah, it's good. Different flavor profile altogether.
It's a stronger to me. It's a stronger.
So we left the Mayan bee sanctuary, headed towards the beach where we stopped at the El Mirador at the Playa Mia Beach.
Sitting at the bar, huh? Or swinging at the bar.
In Cozumel at the beach. We also checked out the beach, I guess you'd say, and the rocks and the Mexican flags and so forth. It was kind of fun walking out there and getting some video. Oh, cool. They also had some organic tequila sampling, so we tried a couple of those.
You can make
Had a good time at this El Mirador
Silver is the first one we get from the blue agave.
So we left the Mirador and now we're at the Mayan Cacao Company. So here we're going to actually get a little bit of narration by Martin, our guide. He explained the way Mayans learned of cacao seeds basically is that the Mayans could collect and burn monkey poop. When it was burned, they noticed the sweet smell. They watched the monkeys eating the cacao pods. Interesting enough, they were able to figure out that that's where it came from. So they started harvesting cacao pods and their seeds, and were able to make cocoa and chocolate and all that from the cacao seeds.
And they gave us a sample of some delicious mole.
Good, that's bueno. And bueno means good.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias,
Gracias.
señor. Enjoy chocolate, señor.
Then they gave us a demonstration of how you can make homemade chocolate using the cacao seed, cinnamon, achiote, and some other spices.
Muy bien. We're gonna place it here in the metate, and now I'm gonna grind it the same way my ancestor Mayas did like 1,000 years ago. Amigos, we feel really happy that you're here. This is something very special for us. It's something that we want to share with you guys. Thank you so much for your time, for listening to me, amigos. Thank you, guys. A big applause to you.
Gracias.
Yes, gracias, amigos.
Like most places you visit, the only way out is through the gift shop. So they did have some chocolate to sample, which we tried. I also found a chocolate stout beer. Chocolate stout beer. Got this at the cacao company here. Excelente.
Our next stop is the Barracito restaurant for tequila tasting and learning about tequila in general.
That one?
How many of you have tried tequila?
Evidently, we've been drinking tequila wrong. You don't want to shoot it and follow it with lime and salt. You want to sip it, and this is what this gentleman is explaining to us.
Having a good experience with tequila. I guess that's a key word. How many of you remember? Okay. Good. I see many hands. How many of you, my friends, remember having a bad experience? Okay. Okay, to this country, you learn that you're supposed to drink tequila in a specific way. First
Salt.
shots and then
Lime and salt.
Salt, exactly, and lime. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, unfortunately guys, we've been doing it wrong the whole time. A little sips. That is exactly what we are going to do now, friends.
Yeah.
Just please do it in sips, enjoy it, savor it. But before we have to say, salud.
Salud. Salud. That's what Mr. Wonderful and whatever.
Little sips.
It's like a cold brew coffee, right? Cold brew, drink.
Salute.
You can enjoy it with some ice.
And now we're back to the port.
Who, me and the GoPro? Hello, people.
No, it's no GoPro.
Oh, and
It's a what is it? DJI.
Oh, it's different. It's different.
Yeah, you know, like
Okay,
the one
okay,
who makes-
relax, madam, relax.
The one who makes the drones.
Hello, people. Welcome to Mexico. Look at my jewelry. Souvenirs and handcrafts.
Beautiful.
Almost free.
Senor. Bandolero. Go.
Ah, Daryl's friend, amigo.
Hey, amigo. He's out there. Gracias.
Welcome back.
All right, y'all, we're back in the Stardust Theater, waiting for the comedian to come.
Something golf.
Yeah. So we can't record during his performance, so we're filming now.
Shut her down.
Gotta shut her down before he comes out.
After the comedian, we went to the atrium and listened to Tanya again. And to really finish off the day well, they had the Poolside Ocean Music Festival. All bands and entertainment staff comes together. They play a variety of music. It was a lot of fun, a lot of dancing, good times. Then we headed over to the Spinnaker at 11 to continue the party and stay grooving with Upgrade.
It's day 11, and we're on our fourth and final at-sea day, heading from Cozumel to the Miami Cruise Terminal. We woke up late for breakfast, but got to hear our favorite greeters singing some music for us.
Yeah, I got him pretty good already.
Hi, how are you today? Happy?
Yeah.
We are so glad to be with you all the time.
And the friendliest tour greeter ever.
Oh, thank you so much. I didn't know.
After breakfast, we decided to go on a little walkabout all through the ship. We wanted to get some video of all the levels and areas so we can make a separate video to give you a tour of the NCL Gem. We're going to show you a sampling here of some of the locations, and even more importantly, there are a couple of different staff members that we wanted to highlight as well, as the staff were super friendly and it made the cruise that much better.
We may have to be back. Yeah, sure. And look at all your toppings. Yeah. Have a good afternoon.
Have a good afternoon.
And here's a hot tub too, and then you do have a shower. We have several games you can play. All right, so now we are on deck 11.
We're right here.
Ah.
All right, so we're on deck 9. We're kind of midship. Good morning.
Can I say hi?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
You have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a blog?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, nice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a little travel channel.
YouTube channel.
Oh, really? You have YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What is your YouTube channel? I will follow you.
Travel with D and E, like Daryl and Aaron. Travel with D and E. It's a small one.
I will write it. So
We're just getting started.
Yeah, it's small. We're just getting started. So this is our first
Cruise.
doing it on the YouTube channel.
Ah, really?
Yeah. Enjoyed. This is where we have enjoyed walking. You can walk the entire boat on the promenade. Now this is all guest services here. So you have restaurant reservations here, regular guest services, watches, colognes, alcohol.
Yeah, we're coming up more towards the rear of the boat. The aft, shall they say.
And the best.
Uh-huh.
The best. Here he is. What's your name and where?
My name is Wayan.
And where are you from?
I am from Indonesia. Yeah,
Beautiful.
exactly. I'm from Bali.
Like every at sea day, there is a round of bingo that's offered, and it's always a lot of fun. This particular round today is going to be a raffle for I think it's a 5-day, 4-night Caribbean cruise. And as you buy your bingo cards, and there's other ways you can get some of these raffle tickets and put them in. Obviously, you can wear your shirt like I'm wearing now, and you can get some extra raffle tickets as well. But again, bingo is just a lot of fun, whether you win or not. We didn't win the raffle, nor did we win bingo on this round, but we had fun.
Then at 6 o'clock, we had dinner at the Magenta. It's a complimentary dining room.
Yogurt medley. And Daryl has French onion soup.
And I did have a teriyaki chicken skewer.
Yes. He had a teriyaki chicken skewer, and I had a split pea soup.
That was good too.
Yep.
Next, we stopped by the Shaker's Martini Bar. I saw someone drinking an espresso martini that they make there and just had to try it. Let me tell you, it was delicious.
Get it from Bali.
Ah, Bali. Ah, yes.
She's extra man. There you go.
We arrived at the Miami Cruise Terminal overnight, so our final morning is the disembarkation morning at the Miami Cruise Terminal. So 7 o'clock, we hightailed it over to the Garden Cafe, so we're going to go ahead and get a breakfast in. We took some pretty good videos of the sunrise over the Miami.
Breakfast before disembarking, and we are going to be heading out. As you can see, some people are already disembarking. We're disembarking from deck 7.
Bye-bye. Come all night on a drink, oh from the light come and me wanna go home. Thank you so much.
See you next time.
You disembark by the color of the luggage tag. You put the tag on and put your luggage outside of your door the night before you disembark. So you have to be out of your room by 8. So we headed to the library and just hung around there with some other people who were waiting also. You wait until your luggage tag color is to be called before you can disembark.
It's 9:30 almost. They're supposed to have the boat completely cleared by 9. They're saying we have a face-to-face with customs, and it's just taking them more time. Yeah, now. Where are we going? Bye, Jim. All right, heading now, finally.
Yeah.
All right, so we gotta find our baggage, baby. Murals all over.
All right, we're at the Whiskey River Restaurant. It's the Honky Tonk Central here. They have a little bar, and I've done a deconstructed cheeseburger with bacon and slaw, and Daryl got all the barbecue sauce.
A pickle burger.
Cordy Rush and Caye in one of the bus.
All right, here we go. Alright, plane. So we boarded pretty empty flight. So we got the whole room to ourselves. Ready?
The NCL Gem's 11-day Panama Canal Cruise was incredible and well exceeded our expectations. The NCL Gem staff went out of their way to ensure the passengers had great facilities, food and drink,
Thank you.
plenty of activities, and exceptional counting. The ports of call and excursions were also great, especially going through the Panama Canal.
We wanted to post this video to give you a good look at just what the cruise itinerary and the NCL Gem has to offer. We're going to follow this video up with several additional videos about our experiences on the ship and a tour of the entire ship, along with our daily updates on the pros and cons of our experiences on the NCL Gem's 11-day Panama Canal Cruise.
We're also going to cover in detail the specific excursions that we went on to help you determine the best excursions that best suit your taste. This will be in addition to videos we've already posted covering a tour of our Deck 4 inside stateroom, along with a video covering accessories you've got to check out to make your stay on a cruise boat that much better. Do us a favor and subscribe. That way you know when we put a new video out. Like that video, share it with your family and friends. You know they're going to love it as well. Don't forget to put a comment below if you've had the opportunity to cruise on the NCL Gem or have transited through the Panama Canal yourself. Don't forget to check out all our other travel videos on our Travel and D&E channel. Thanks for watching, and as always, we will see you in the next video.